Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing Comic Uno's Best Comics of the Week, and this is the show where I review all the comics I've read this week in one show. We go least favorite to best pick of the week and everything in between. Now, before we get started, I do have a Kickstarter going on right now for By Visibility. There's plenty of wonderful creators on there, including Lisa Sturl, Chris Sheehan, and many more. So definitely go check it out. It's all different genres, ranging from vampires, superheroes, reality television, all about bisexuality, and really anyone can enjoy it. So hopefully you guys could go check it out. Of course, at the end of the video, I do the viewer's pick of the week. So in the comments below, let me know your pick of the week for a chance to be featured on the episode. Now this week I had 8 comics, so pretty small haul for me. And number 8 for me was Deathstroke Inc. issue 10. This was, I guess I kind of got on whim because Deathstroke was having the Shadow War crossover, and that just ended. And Joshua Williamson, I believe, is done with his run for Deathstroke, and I gotta, I enjoyed Shadow War. I enjoyed what Deathstroke brought there. There's a lot of different elements that was brought into the Deathstroke family with that event, and I was like, let's see where this goes. And this issue was just a year one. I don't think I needed a Deathstroke year one. Again, after all the satisfaction of some of the Deathstroke family storylines and introducing Respawn and then killing him, there was interesting story there. So I just felt like this was very fillerish and didn't continue from the fruits that were there. So I didn't love this one, wasn't exactly what I expected, so I'm going to give that 2 stars. Moving on to number 7, which is Sins of the Black Flamingo, issue 1. I got this one on whim as well. I like trying out different issue 1s. I knew this was a queer book as well. The artwork looked really good, but the story just wasn't for me. It was very black cat, Catwoman, thief, espionage, I guess we could call it espionage style storyline. And the thing I liked was the art, but the character was hard to get into. I just didn't really feel fully invested in this. If you enjoy the jewelry thief style story, maybe you'll enjoy this one, but it wasn't really for me. So giving that 2 stars, and that is number 7. Moving on to number 6, a book I am surprised by being so low, and that is 7 Secrets issue 18. And 7 Secrets, I've been really enjoying this series thus far. I've enjoyed it overall, and I was surprised that I didn't love this issue. With this one, we get to see a lot of exposition, honestly, about the god that is Casper. And then in the end, everything just kind of turns into normal. Nothing really happened. The villain becomes a hero in the end. Casper is alive. Everyone's alive, and everything's happily ever after. And I feel like it really took away the stakes, and I feel like the secrets didn't live up to the hype in this one. And I liked the last issue a bit more than this, because again, I felt underwhelmed for something that I feel definitely was building up for longer than a year. It's been about a year and a half the series has been out, and it didn't meet my expectations, sadly. So giving that one 3 stars, and that is number 6. Moving on to number 5, which is a book I was super excited for, and that is Public Domain issue 1. And this is a new Chip Zdarsky book that he is writing and drawing, so it's truly his product. And I was actually kind of surprised by the layout, because this is a Substack book, so obviously it was made to be a digital book first. And if you read the book, so you get that page, and then inside the cover is the story. Usually you get like the credits or something there to not just start the story on that second page. And then same thing for the end. It just kind of ends on that last page, and then you get that. And I just thought that was weirdly formatted. Because maybe they're trying to utilize whatever page turn they had for Substack, and then what they ended up adapting for the print copy. Now, getting away from the nitty-gritty, let's talk about the actual story. This is very much a meta series, so in line of like stuff you enjoyed about crossover. It very much deals with the Hollywood aspect, though, of a character becoming an adaptation and how the comic book creator is treated. And we get to see this from the family who created Public Domain, which is, obviously a very ironic title. Because public domains mean anyone could use it. There are no rights to it. So that was kind of interesting. But, the reason this was a little lower and I guess didn't really meet my expectation was I couldn't get into the family. Really couldn't get into the characters. I liked the stuff they were trying to tackle, but that became so big on the priority list that the characters kind of fell short for me. It was a little bit harder to get the hook for me. So overall, giving that 3 stars, and that is number 5. Moving on to number 4. I'm also surprised to see this one more in the middle of the road, and that is the Variants issue 1. I'm a big Jessica Jones fan. I'm also a huge Gail Simone fan, so I was very much anticipating this one. But I think this falters through a lot of things I've seen with Jessica Jones in previous years, where it's kind of the same story, right? We get to see the Purple Man because everyone really enjoyed the show, or at least the first season of the show. So they try to do the stuff that was relevant in the show and popular in the show. So we get that same exact story here. Jessica's dealing with the trauma of that, and then we're seeing something that Marvel's been doing a lot with other characters that I don't feel like has worked very well, is these alternate universe versions. That, Spider-Verse was popular. They're like, let's do this with everybody. So Spider-Gwen has a series, Miles Morales has a series, and now this kind of feels tacked on to, here's a Captain America version of Jessica. Here's this version of Jessica. And it's just like, oh, where did this come from? And I just felt like the thing I enjoyed about this issue was, Jessica Jones's character. I enjoyed her voice. I thought Gail really nailed it. And I just kind of wish we went into more of the detective side, kind of what Kelly Thompson did with her previous run of Jessica Jones, which I think is one of the better ones in recent years. Not even one of the better ones, honestly, one of my favorites, because it went in the nitty-gritty of the detective stuff and really enhanced the Marvel Universe and utilized that as its playground, which Alias, the first series, why it was on the map was because of that. This kind of normal character who's not Captain America, dealing with characters that are like, Hulk's sidekick. So I felt a little torn on this one. I'm definitely going to get issue 2, but I thought I was going to love it, and I just kind of fell in the middle for me. And the artwork I thought was strong, but there are times where it feels a little stilted, this style. So giving that 3 stars, and that is number 4. Moving on to number 3, which is Iron Cat, issue 1. And Iron Cat, this is the first Black Cat book I've read in a long time. I've been hearing a lot of great things about McKay's run on Iron Cat, Black Cat. So I'm like, all right, let me check this out. This seems like a good jumping on point. And honestly, it was. It was just a fun little jewelry thief type story. And I'll talk about Black Flamingo. I thought this one did it right. I really got into the characters. I was invested in Black Cat. I was invested in her ex-girlfriend and this mystery of, what's going on with her old suit, the Iron Cat suit, and then how Black Cat ends up teaming up with Tony because they could both relate with having ex-girlfriends to deal with. So honestly, the art was just really solid. The story was fun, and I just had a good time with this. So overall, giving that 3.5 stars, and that is number 3. Moving on to number 2, which is Robin, issue 15. And Robin, I don't know if this is ending soon. People are saying it is, but I don't know if it's Joshua Williamson just leaving or is the book actually ending. But yeah, with this one, we get to see the aftermath of Shadow War, and we actually get to see the true aftermath of Shadow War, unlike Deathstroke Inc., where we get to see Damien's relationship with Talia and also his father, and how he becomes kind of this middle ground between these divorced parents. And I had a good time with it. I don't think it blew my mind, but I thought it was a good aftermath issue, and you get a good cliffhanger, getting us into the next issue with Flatline. Artwork was really solid. I don't think Gleb does the artwork for this, but the artist meets that style very well, and I like that manga kind of YA style for this book. So overall, giving that 3.5 stars, and that is number 2. Moving on to number 1, which is a book that hasn't been out in a little while, and that is She-Hulk issue 4. And I love Rainbow's work. I'm always in love with it. And even though I don't think this issue progresses much, I don't think the plot really progresses, what Rainbow does great is just the character work, and we get a lot of different angles of the character work, where we get a little gist of the Fight Club, a little bit of Jen's work trying to help her friends with their lawyer problems and their legal issues, with also keeping it hush-hush from her boss, who doesn't want to deal with any of that. But then there's just these really rich moments between her and the Jack of Hearts, where we get to see this more organic conversation about Jennifer's two identities of being regular old Jen and then She-Hulk, and what that means for her and how she can relate that to Jack. And then there's just fun dialogue about bubble tea. So I just thought it was just a great, fun return for She-Hulk. It's weird to say a return because it's only been 4 issues, but it's everything I like about a Rainbow issue. Maybe it wasn't the most explosive one, but I had a good time just kind of dipping my feet back into She-Hulk. And the artwork is so good with the facial expressions from the emotional stuff to, again, jokes about bubble tea and poetry. So overall, giving that 3.5 stars, and that is number 1. That is my pick of the week. Let me know in the comments below what were your favorite comics of the week, and the viewers' pick of the week from last week was Batman Superman World's Finest, and here is those comments. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.